Round 1, Game 1, against a familiar foe, the Phoenix Coyotes. And they are the Phoenix Coyotes in this game. I want to put this part forward. This is a weird post-com, so that has delayed the ability for me to get this episode online because I already recorded this gameplay with a live com initially, but the recording software that captured the audio for that gameplay did not save. It actually quit midway through the recording, and halfway through this gameplay I realized that the software quit on me during the live commentary, so it was too late and I was already playing the game, so I committed to finishing the game without a live commentary. So this is a post-com. I'm doing this about a week and a half after it was initially recorded, I believe. Anyway, just wanted to get that out of the way so everyone is aware that this is not a live commentary, but I normally do a live commentary for these games. Sagan looking to bring it in, drops it off for Riley Smith. Backdoor to not Tyler Sagan, but Corey Perry, who laid a big hit on behind the play. Drop back for Ekman Larson. So I guess the style of commentary, just so we have some commentary for this episode, is going to be that of a true nature play-by-play. But we got a penalty coming up to the Coyotes. They think the game's first penalty in Game 1. The nice thing about again, it was about halfway through the gameplay that I realized there was no commentary being captured. So the nice part about that is I could just focus entirely on the gameplay. Hopefully I do a good job of using a noise gate on the microphone that I'm capturing my commentary on as we go to the power play, looking back door there, and I can cancel out all the noise that is coming from my laptop speakers, because that's what I'm watching this gameplay. That is what I'm watching this gameplay back on. We had a controller disconnect. Look at Corey Perry doing little 360s there by the half wall. Up top to Calvert. Back down low the gift for Corey Perry. A blocker side save cleared by Pietrangelo, who is the big acquisition by Phoenix in free agency before Season 10 began. So this is the Season 10 playoffs. The last playoffs of the whole entire GM mode. So this is our last shot. We are the defending Cup champions coming into this playoff round. By the way, we won the Stanley Cup against the Columbus Blue Jackets in a 4-game sweep in season number 9. So our last opportunity to defend a cup and our last opportunity to take it in the whole GM mode. So the playoffs will begin with the Coyotes. Should Edmonton win their series against San Jose, and should we win our series against the Coyotes, there would be the Battle of Alberta in the second round. That is what lays afoot for both of these squads, should they both make it to the second round. But we have our own business to take care of against the Coyotes in this first round meeting. About that controller disconnect that happened earlier, I'm trying to think back about when I recorded this gameplay. The cable that was plugged into the controller had a very difficult time. For this entire playoff recording session, I had a difficult time keeping the controller plugged in. So not just for this game, but for the games in this series. There is definitely going to be a bit of editing for me to do in post. But I like the power play setup that we had going on there. We had a little umbrella opportunity to pass the puck around, catch the D a little bit out of position. We see Laxo handling it at the blue line. Give over for Ekblad. Laxo was injured for that Stanley Cup final series that we had against Columbus the previous season. That nice little saucer chip off the boards. It's sent down low, and I'll finally get to my best play-by-play ability as we return to 5-on-5. Hartman defended extremely aggressively by Aaron Ekblad, who has a tough time getting the puck out on the boards. We try for the weak side breakout. A bit of confusion in neutral ice. Pulley picks it up and sends it back into the Flames D-zone. Ekblad a second time having to retrieve the puck on the dump in here. Backdoor Holmberg, it squeaks in. The Coyotes take first blood in Game 1 and, of course, in the series. It's a weak one. It's a short-sider on Peter Mrazek. Mitch Holmberg has the game's first goal and the series' first goal, like I've already mentioned. How did this go through? It is, oh, that's a bad one. That's brutal. That's off the skate and in, off the right skate and into the net. And I'm trying to remember this series and this gameplay. I really genuinely was surprised by that goal watching this back in post, because although I do know, and I won't spoil it, but I do know the outcome of this game, I do not remember the first goal in this game. I don't even remember any of the goals in this game, when they were scored, who scored them, or how they were scored. I don't remember anything, but I do know the true outcome of this game. Again, I will not spoil whether or not this game was won by either the Coyotes or the Flames. There's only one victor in this game. It has that cross-corner dump-in, bothers the retrieval of, I believe, who was on that retrieval? Clefbaum. It's out to center now. Foligno shrugs off body contact to get the inside position. Look at these moves, drop back to the point. Clefbaum fires a deflected puck in that's wide of the Phoenix netminder. Again, not sure who the goaltender is for Phoenix. We have a nice breakout as the Flames are changing for the Coyotes. However, they do elect to send it back in. Laxo clean behind his own net. Headman for Hanowski. He's going to bring it in. A little dangle wide of the zone and sent back in behind the net for Calvert, who tries a short side sneaky wraparound. Gormley comes away with possession out to Harris at center for the Coyotes. Drop back to Gormley. He's going to let the D handle this, and it can be skated up to the blue line and sent in to the Flame zone toward the right of Peter Mrazek, gathered by Laxo, who sends a soft saucer pass into neutral ice, where Faxa is giving the handles. He tries to chip it in. It pops straight up in the air. Laxo, a shot off the poor ankle of Gormley, saved by the Phoenix netminder again, who remains unnamed, because in my post-commentary recording session here, I did not catch who's in the net for Phoenix. That's a bad play by Blum as he tried to slap it around behind his own net, out of the zone, played off the puck by Hartman at center ice, and Hartman can send it back in. Gathered again by Blum, this time to the left of Mrazek. He is bothered on the forecheck by Colborne, who gets it right back, sends it in on net. A second chance on the rebound off the face of Karan. Ekman Larson shoots, it's blocked. What chaos going on in the attacking zone for the Coyotes on that shift. It is an icing negated off the backhand try by Hanowski. I think that was Hanowski that tried that little backhander on. Sent in further again. The Coyotes content to keep dumping the puck in. Sagan at center has the support. Given up for Corey Perry, who is 37 years of age, entering this playoff run. An ageless wonder, had more than 30 goals in the regular season. I don't know how I'm going to edit this whole video, because I was lazy and I decided not to actually do any audio for the intro for this. So I think what I'm going to do is show all the stats in the playoffs and the roster for the Coyotes without any commentary, and you'll just have to pause the video if you want to take a peek at any of the stats or the roster for the Coyotes coming into this game and this series. That is going to miss Talusti on the pass out of the zone. Ekman Larson is given a big ride into the boards. It's going to be a minor penalty. It's going to be Yuri Talusti to the box. The first penalty of the series dealt to the Calgary Flames, I believe so. Checking from behind, boarding, something of that nature. Yuri Talusti, who obviously a lot of returning members of this Flames team that helped win the Stanley Cup in Season 9. So there's a lot. The faces are all familiar here. Holmberg through the crease had an opportunity at his second goal of the game. Has he been around it in just the first half of this first period? That puck careens all the way back. That went off the stick of Sagan. What a weird play. Holmberg has it again on the wing. He has dealt a big blow by the defense of Jonathan Blum, who gets it up further to Radek Faxa, a big piece of the Stanley Cup run in Season 9. Sagan can send it on. It is Burke in the net. There's your confirmation who that is. Number 1 in the goal crease. He certainly is so far. He's keeping the Flames scoreless, but boy, did this chance for Holmberg. He's going to be regretting that one for a long time. Send it right along the goal line and out the other side for Ekman Larson, who I think caught that puck off the miss and ended up shooting it into a maze of bodies in front. The face-off one back to Rundblad. He gets it to Ekman Larson. It is out Boucher. Lots of cross-rink passes, and that one is going to be too many as it was intercepted by the Flames. Coyotes possess again. Harris on the zone entry has a chance one-on-one with Mrazek. The blocker save is made. The clear off a Coyotes player, but out behind the blue line by Aaron Ekblad. Flung back in on the backhand by Rundblad. A good aggressive play in his own zone by Laxo, and it is now carried ahead. Kujawenski in. Kuju! Oh, he could not get it to go! And that is actually a line of commentary that I said in the live com on this exact play. Is I said Kuju, and I meant to say Kuja as a nickname for Kujawinski, but it turns out that Kuju is going to stick, as you're going to find out throughout the remainder of the playoffs with the rest of the live commentaries that I actually did for the rest of this playoff series. You're going to hear Kuju, a nickname. Now, in the live commentary, I said Kuju in that exact play, on that exact moment, and I ended up just laughing myself to death over calling him Kuju. I don't know that it was really that funny, so I don't know. I just tried to replicate that as best as I could in the post-com there on that play, on that sequence. So Ryan Kujawinski, the little story behind Ryan Kujawinski and what's so special about him is I've already explained this in the off-season and the season simulation videos. What a great opportunity for Boguniecki, the rookie, getting into his first action in the postseason. However, the story behind Kujawinski is in 2015, I think it was 2015, I did a GM mode by myself, not recording it, just a normal GM mode in my spare time with the Montreal Canadiens. And somehow, someway, we ended up with Kujawinski on our team. Kujawinski would become an important piece of those Canadiens teams in my GM mode in the regular season, especially in the playoffs. Whoa! What happened to Burke? Well, Burke went spinning like a top in his own goal crease after he got nudged into by Karan? I don't know who nudged into him. No, it might have been... I don't know. Was it Karan or Faxa? Faxa and Pietrangelo are both gone for roughing. I'll touch on Pietrangelo in a second. Or touch further on him. As my dialogue got interrupted by that play on Burke. So, however, Kujawinski was an important piece of the postseason run I had with the Canadiens. We won a couple Stanley Cups in that GM mode series that I did, and just Kujawinski sims really well, so I figured I would go and trade for Kujawinski from Dallas. It's the last season of the whole GM mode. I might as well do something fun with it, and I figured it couldn't hurt to get Kujawinski. So once again, the Flames and the Stars make a big offseason trade, like we did when we acquired Riley Smith out of Dallas in exchange for Sven Baertschi, Sven Baertschi was traded before at the deadline before this postseason to the Canadiens, so he is in the East now. But yeah, we traded Sven Baertschi out to Dallas in exchange for Riley Smith. I don't know if Dallas would ever have actually done that trade in the real world, but I decided to make that trade with the Stars, and then we made another one with the Stars in the offseason before Season 10 here to acquire Kujawinski as one last shot to bolster our roster just a little bit. I forgot what I sent to Dallas in exchange for Kujawinski. It was like I sent a bunch of draft picks, and I did whatever I could do to try to bolster this team. And it was so funny coming into this regular season and the postseason that Corey Perry, he was an 80 overall in our playoff run in Season 9 last season. Coming into this playoffs and in the regular season, he was an 87 overall. So he bumped up from an 80 to an 87. I guess he just really enjoyed that postseason run and winning that Stanley Cup with the Calgary Flames. One last chance on the net, turned aside by Burke. There's 9/10 of a second remaining, but for all intents and purposes, that's going to do it for the first period of play. Some rough stuff after the whistle between these two squads who have been familiar with each other in postseasons past. In fact, on our playoff run after we won the Stanley Cup in Season 4, we faced the Phoenix Coyotes in the first round. First round? Was that second round or first round? I think it was a first round matchup. And since this is a post-com, I can confirm that information, but the first period is about to expire, and I will touch on some more things in the next period of play. Our second period of action about to get underway. I want to do my normal play-by-play commentary that I try to do, but there are some things that I feel that I need to touch up on before. Okay, so the controller disconnecting, that really threw me off, and of course I'm going to have to edit all of that stuff out. It happened right as the puck was about to drop. Look at this little play by Seguin at the blue line. Riley Smith to Seguin in front. It was deflected aside. Corey Perry handles at the corner, down low for Riley Smith. Smith given back for Perry, but it was knocked down. Lesio checked into the boards by Seguin and Perry, the new Bash brothers in Calgary. Ekblad up to Riley Smith, and soon I'll get touching on where we saw the Coyotes in the playoffs. We saw them on the way to the Stanley Cup final last season in round 2. The year after we won the Stanley Cup, we have a goal. It's the Coyotes, though, so I missed a goal there for the Coyotes. It is Lesio, I believe so. Is that not Lesio that scores it? It is Lucas Lesio. He was a problem for us in previous postseason meetings with the Coyotes in the dead slot, not covered at all. No one even near to defend this. Look at Ekblad. He's collapsing all the way down beside the goaltender. You're useless there. So yes, that was a first-round meeting with the Coyotes, as I can confirm to you now, the season after we won the Cup. So Season 5, Round 1, after we won the Stanley Cup in Season 4, we saw the Coyotes, and a great opportunity for Hanowski on the doorstep. Turned aside by Burke. Just narrowly avoided bringing that puck back in offside. A nice little one-handed puck shield brought ahead. This is Calvert with the puck, a new addition to the Calgary Flames in the offseason. Blum to give to his D partner Laxo, hailed over to the net. Calvert keeps the puck in the zone. Blum walking to the inside. The middle fires a wrister wide, and it hits the high glass behind Burke Ekholm to Holmberg on the breakout. Holmberg with a couple good opportunities, of course, at the first goal in this game in that first period of play. The other thing that I wanted to touch on in this game in particular is the addition for the Coyotes of Pietrangelo. So Alex Pietrangelo was the best free agent available in the offseason going into Season 10 here. The Coyotes signed him out of free agency, bolstered their blue line. I should have shown the entire Coyotes lines and D pairs before this, at the very beginning of this episode before it began. I will try to, edit that in there. There won't be any commentary to go along with any of that stuff because I'm trying to make sure that I record and edit this as quick as possible. I want minimal recording, minimal editing time so I can get this episode out. But I do want the quality, the production quality, and everything to be there to the best of my own abilities. We give Burke a little snow shower as that whistle happened. Hanowski's chance again, point blank. What a split save by the goaltender, Burke. I still don't know his first name. First line out there for Calgary, winning the faceoff is Sagan. Shot, low to the pad, a rebound given and available, cleared up by Dauphin. Ahead to Lucas Lesio. I've already mentioned Lesio. He has the goal in this game, the second goal in this game for the Coyotes. And he was a big pain in our asses in previous meetings with this Coyotes team. We had a penalty that happened behind the play. I believe it's Perry going off for interference or something like that. Still no touch, and it is finally touched by Clefbaum. 5 minutes, it's a major. Corey Perry is being kicked from the game. And that's a significant loss for the Calgary Flames. And it is not a clean hit in any way, shape, or form. There's no way that anyone, Corey Perry or any Flames player, coach, fan, you cannot argue against that call. It's a pretty bad hit. The referees are not going to let that stand this evening. The Coyotes get on a long power play. So even if they score, the power play remains active if they score inside of this 5 minutes of play here. Sagan from behind the net. Excuse me, I have a little bit of gas and I burped a little bit in between my lines of commentary here. Driven out wide and defended aggressively by Aaron Ekblad, the star defenseman of the Calgary Flames. However, the puck ends up in front. It was turned aside by Mrazek. A soft saucer pass down the rink allows for Riley Smith to get to this first, but not before Pietrangelo bumps him, and it's poked off of Pietrangelo by Riley Smith. Lesio dropped back for his defenseman. The pass misses, gathered by Ekblad. Strong pass for Kujawenski, and Kuju shoots it to the stick side of Burke as it got to the glass there in the corner. The Coyotes bring it back in transition. A pullback drop for Pooley. Pooley to the side. Boucher from an angle shoots. Another rebound opportunity turned aside by Mrazek. A third save in a row for Peter Mrazek. The puck is bouncing around off those goaltender pads like a tennis ball right now. A diving attempt by Clefbaum to superb man that puck into the net. His chance was not successful. We have some scrappy stuff going on even further after the whistle between Pooley and Clefbaum. And this is the play we just saw. This was Clefbaum's attempt to dive and maybe swat the puck in. And had we been successful, I would have had the craziest expression on my face. I would have screamed at the top of my lungs if we got that puck into the back of the net. We're staying with the puck, even though losing the forecheck. Kujawenski sends it further back in. Kujawenski is the center because his face-off rating is better than any of my other options for the second penalty kill unit. The deflection hits the post and stays out. Burke gets a break on that one. Holmberg demolished by the boards. In fact, Ekblad will have to answer for that with Matthias Ekholm. He's not going to allow anyone on the Flames team to hit his teammate just like that. Ekblad perhaps out of his league fighting Matthias Ekholm. He doesn't stand a chance in this one. You know, kudos to Ekblad for stepping up for that hit. He knows what he did. It wasn't necessarily a dirty hit. It was just a big hit. The Coyotes take exception to that one, or at least Matthias Ekholm does. He's going to go into the box victorious in the fight. It's a questionable hit to me because Holmberg, the smaller sized player that he is, he was a few feet off the boards when Ekblad hit him. However, he possessed the puck. There was nothing necessarily illegal about it, aside from the fact that Ekblad did send him into the boards with that check. But this is playoff. This is playoff hockey, man. Get used to it. Welcome to the postseason, buddy. Still, just halfway through the power play. Soon enough, look at these dangles by Radek Faksa. Soon enough, it will basically become a normal minor power play for the Coyotes. Boucher stood up at the blue line by Oscar Klefbom. It is cross-corner dumped in. Blum has to do the retrieving action. He gets help from Klefbom. His help is not very helpful, in fact. The puck deflects away from the Coyotes. Blum will take it one-on-one, try to get a shot. It is well defended by Pietrangelo, the former St. Louis Blue. Blum just trying to force that puck back into the zone. The Coyotes would not allow for that. Boucher wide in the zone toward the corner. Back door. The flex wide of Dauphin now. Back to the point. Ekman Larsson fires one in. A save paddled aside by Peter Mrazek to the left side to the left side of his net. Kujawenski, a burst of speed in. Another blocker save turned aside by Burke. It goes to the corner on the deflection where Kujawenski in the dead slot for Riley Smith, turned aside by the Coyotes. Their defense gets it further into the zone. Power play time winding out. And a penalty's been called. It's going to go against the Coyotes. This will negate the final 22 seconds that they had on their power play. So for 22 seconds, we will have 4-on-4 hockey. Lesio going at Laxo, I believe, was the defenseman that was trying to get that puck out of the zone. Abbreviated power play ensuing for the Flames. Coming off of this 4-on-4 period of play. Ristolainen was a big piece of the defense core on the postseason run because of the injury to Alexei, or not, was it Alexei? I already forgot. Alexei Laxo was the injured defenseman, right? Last season in Season 9's playoff. We had to call up Rasmus Ristolainen from the AHL and use him as a extra body for the playoff run. Ristolainen was acquired from Buffalo off of waivers. We got a penalty that was called a slash or a hook. It is going to be called slashing on the ice by the referee. This will put the Flames to a 5-on-3 man advantage for just a little more than 60 seconds. I believe 64 seconds of 5-on-3. Rundblad to the box. That's a penalty killer, obviously, since he's out there killing the initial 5-on-4 that the Coyotes had to kill off. It is now a 5-on-3, so you have plenty of time. You have plenty of space. Take your time with this power play setup. Calvert, cross rink for a Klefbom, but right into the glove of Burke. Right where you want that one-timer to be, in the face-off circle. On the other side of the rink, through the seam. There are going to be plenty of seams to pass through. With it being a 5-on-3, the face-off lost by Tyler Seguin, cleared by Ekman Larsson out to center ice. Seguin pulling up, getting help from Hanalski. It's all about finding the support on the power play. Laxo to the middle. He's at the top of the umbrella. Blum, the right-handed shot. In front for Seguin. What a goal. The Flames have struck for the first time in the game on the power play. There are still 1 minute and 19 seconds remaining on the man advantage. This will be the second part of the power play. The Flames will have an opportunity to even the score on. Seguin, point blank, He was not boxed out very well or boxed out at all by Ekman-Larsson. He's a right-handed shot. He turns and opens his forehand to receive the pass. Gets the goal right past Burke. He is perfect no longer in this game. And it was holding the fork down quite well for the Coyotes. That clear into the zone deflects off a Flames player's back into their own end of the rink. Calvert will go coast to coast with this puck. Calvert feeling the confidence to get a shot away. It was not going to get away successfully. The puck is gathered by Clefbaum, who plays it from his own zone up into neutral ice to Smith. The drop pass to Faxa. The return to Smith. A little miscommunication between Flames players. Smith by the hashies on the half wall. Down low, Faxa in front, Tolusti, and there's another one. A jam goal from Jiri Tolusti has tied the game, both coming on the power play. The man advantage is supreme tonight for Calgary, making the Coyotes pay for these relentless penalties they continue taking. This is on the backhand and 5-hole from Jiri Tolusti. Another one point blank. The Coyotes failing on the penalty kill to box out the Flames players in front. Burke is not getting a lot of help on these penalty kill situations. The game is now level at 2. First time we've had the game even since it was scoreless at the beginning. Nice little D-to-D trying to find the weak side breakout. The Coyotes forecheck is really bringing it on this shift. Really intense forecheck. Harris back up top. Pulley sends it on the backhand. It was a pretty weak play by Pulley from the blue line. Hanowski will have the, or rather that's Boguniecki, is that not? That is Boguniecki. 6 foot, I want to say 4 and like 240 pounds. So he is one of a kind on the ice surface. I'll put it that way. Karan just missed a body check because I had a very surprising controller disconnection. You know what's funny is they're even more jarring when you do a post commentary to see those controller disconnections happen. Given on the wing, Foligno pulling up, sending it further behind the Coyotes' net. It was out of reach for Jiri Tolusti. He gathers it back now, forces it into the corner. Foligno sending it to the corner again, trying to get a little cycle play going for the Calgary Flames. Patience at the point to Ristolainen, who flung it, but it was blocked by the Coyotes. They have possession now. Pietrangelo in the middle of the ice. It gets bumped back to Ekman-Larsson. The Coyotes not finding a breakout they like. Ristolainen's dangle attempt failed at center ice. He just dumps it in to the right of Burke, who plays it off the board. So Burke, the goaltender, coming out to play that puck away from the Flames forecheck. It is going to be another dump-in opportunity for the Coyotes. Clefbaum up the boards. A chip play, be a little behind Calvert on the left side. Calvert to the middle, the inside toward the face-off circle, sent it back door, but it was not gathered by a Flames player off of Burke, played behind his own net. Colburn intercepted at center ice by the Flames. Hanowski will now handle it at center. The break-in stifled by the Coyotes' defense. Oh, what an opportunity for Hanowski. He prevailed with that one-handed puck shield. Kept in by Laxo, flung toward the net. Just a very simple hockey play. Get it back into the zone, further on the net, and away from your blue line. You're the last line of defense as the defenseman on that blue line. If the puck gets behind you, it's an odd man rush or maybe even a breakaway going the other way. So you just got to get the puck back in. The Coyotes have struggled to find a controlled zone entry every time up the ice. It's dump it in and go change. That seems to be the theme of the night for the Coyotes. The last 4 seconds of the period are expiring. Ekman-Larsson at the blue line sends it on the backhand. We are even at 2 goals apiece through the first 40 minutes of gameplay. It has been the power play for the Calgary Flames. That was the story of the second period of play. A fight involved in there. Plenty of action, actually, to go around in that second 20 minutes of play. These post commentaries never fail to be very awkward for me. They never fail to be very awkward because I'm not in the zone like I am. When I'm playing the game and doing the commentary at the same time, it's a lot for my brain to be occupied, but I'm more in the zone when I'm doing the live comm and playing the game at the same time. You're getting my raw reaction to what's happening. You are seeing me explain what I'm doing on the ice surface better than I can in a post commentary, although I can still kind of explain what I'm trying to do on certain plays or what's going on certain plays with a post commentary, but it's just not the same flavor when you're doing it in post. But I didn't have any other choice for this particular episode. It won't be like this. for every episode after this. That's a big check on the forecheck. Petrangelo, D to D. Ekman Larsson, it is just kept out of the net by Peter Mrazek. A bank off the boards, finds Hanowski, who does a little pirouette move centered for Riley Smith, who was standing in front of Burke, which is where the 2 goals for the Flames have been scored this evening. Laxo bothered by the forecheck. Those dump-ins have been pretty effective, honestly, in this game for the Coyotes. A slap dump hits the back of the net after it kicked off the inboards from Sagan. They're just trying to get the puck into the Coyote zone, get the Flames forecheck activated. Gormley peels away from that pressure. Hartman will carry away up the left side for the Coyotes. Dumped back in behind the net of Mrazek. Laxo to the left. Sends it up the ice, but no one was available. So this is a little awkward because my computer shut down in the middle of commentary. Depending on how this gets blended back in. Well, I don't know how to blend the commentaries together, but I'm going to continue here with 15:50 remaining in the third period now. Caron bringing it in. So any commentary that was cut off, I do apologize. We're bringing it back in. We just had a slap shot from Ristolainen. Missed the net, gathered by Ellard, back to the point. Another shot that's blocked on the attempt from Clefbaum to the far side corner. Domi wraps it around behind his own net. The Flames will keep it in. Boguniecki, the point men, working together. Ristolainen shoved at the blue line. Just a good effort to get it back into the zone as deep as possible. Eller is bothered, and it is gathered again by Domi. Dropped back to Pooley, the defenseman. Holmberg on the offside to Domi. It is going to be whistled down at the Flames defensive zone blue line. We get a replay of Burke in the net making a save on Hanowski. That is the bid for the low blocker side that was turned away by the Phoenix netminder. Flames trying to gain that crucial advantage in this third period of play. 2-2 game. Both teams have been bringing the physical play to this game in the early going in the series, so it's nice to see that there is a playoff level intensity to this series between the Coyotes and the Flames. Simon Luff handles the puck now. Faxa through center, gives off on the wing. Calvert, a couple of moves, dropped the puck behind himself. It was intercepted by Watson, but he is offside. We'll do the face-off near to the blue line, near the benches. Near the Flames defensive zone. You saw the heavy shot totals in favor of the Calgary Flames, outshooting the Phoenix Coyotes 30-16 to this point. And there's the goal. Phoenix, they take the crucial lead with 12:45 to go in the third period here. It is off of a rebound. Lucas Lesio, second of the night, second of the postseason as well, obviously. And that is not a goal that you can pin on the netminder. That's just the defense has to do their job. Peter Mrazek obviously out of position on the rebound, but the defense needs to be there to clean that opportunity up. Coyotes have the go-ahead advantage on home ice. Can the Flames rally now? Trailing 3-2. All the Coyotes have to do from this point in is just really just that. It's that simple. Get the puck back in deep. Force the Flames to go the other way, who cannot, of course, get it out of their own zone right now. The pressure by Gormley keeping the puck in, intercepted by Sagan. Sagan is going to be on the loose. And much like we saw in the Stanley Cup Final, a breakaway shot saved with the pad of Burke. We saw Tyler Sagan in the Stanley Cup Final against Columbus, specifically in Game 1. His breakaway abilities, breakaway opportunities at large, and even able to come through on the score sheet in that one. Not on this opportunity in Game 1 of this series. A pass knocked down on its way towards Sagan by Petrangelo, the star-studded defenseman of the Coyotes. Luff behind his own net has retrieval. A pass that banks off the Coyotes player to Caron, dropped off for Boguniecki, the new face of the Calgary Flames, the rookie forward and hometown draft pick of the Calgary Flames a couple seasons ago. The Coyotes sending it back in. Foligno, the forward, gets it ahead to his line mate, Talusti. Ekblad joins the play. He has possession on that pass. Pausing, a little delay from Ekblad. Gets a heavy shot in. Talusti was crashing for the rebound that Burke kept out. Coyotes force the issue back into the Flames' end of the ice. A dump in. which is getting the puck 200 feet away from their own net. It is crucial. It is the key in the game right now for the Coyotes. A couple of wise moves by Kujawinski and fired one on. A rebound was there for Toulouse, but he gave it back to the point for some unbeknownst reason. Toulouse forcing it on. Rundblad will clear the zone ahead to his forward Harris, who carries it across the red into the blue and further into the Flame zone. A heads up, big body check. Jonathan Blum got to be aware at all times. The physical presence being felt by the Coyotes, rimmed around toward the points. It will not be kept in by Radek Faksa, who just dumps it right back in from center. Ekholm with a bouncing puck. That bothered Ekholm and the forecheck as well. 3 men in deep for the Flames. Back to Laxo with a point. He slaps one toward the net. It missed. It got the high glass behind Burke. Ekholm helping his teammates out. Forward pass for Domi. Forward pass for Holmberg here. We've seen a lot from Holmberg in this game. Could be a problem to deal with in this entire series. We've got a delayed call coming up against Phoenix. It's poked ahead by Blum. Away from Hansel on the poke check. Blum carries in like a forward. Protects the puck with a puck shield. Caron leaves it there for Calvert. The touch is finally given. The Coyotes to the box. It looks like it's going to be Bonker. It's going to be a charge. That's the call by the referee on the ice surface. Confirmation coming up. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that is a dangerous hit. You're glad you're wearing a helmet on that one. I don't know who the unlucky recipient for the Flames was on that one. The power play has been at large for Calgary in this game so far. 2 for 3 in the man advantage. They get another chance to strike, which would, of course, even the game at 3-3. So right to that power play, that umbrella power play setup. There's another one, another penalty taken. A slash. This will be huge. Phoenix has struggled on the penalty kill in this game. They will give the Flames a 5-on-3 opportunity now to tie the game. It's Laurent Dauphin into the penalty box. He goes 5-on-3 for 1:41. All the space in the world to create on this power play, which has, of course, like I've said, been very successful for the Flames. Time is taken, a couple one-timers and shots toward the net, but none of them reached Burke on those opportunities. Back to retrieve. This is Laxo spinning around with it in his own zone. Headman to Hanowski. Cutting to the middle. Dropped off for his teammate. I believe that was Sagan. He was trying to get the puck to. Calvert back skating in his own end, and we know why now because of the controller disconnect. A little bit jarring for myself. Hanowski with a cutback move. Fed in front. Sagan has tied the game on the power play. And there it is. The man advantage that has been so crucial to the Flames' success in Game 1. It has single-handedly kept them in the game. T-Sags gets his second on the board in the game, both on the power play. All 3 Flames goals have been on the power play. 3 for 4. That is a 75% success rate on the man advantage, and there is still more yet to come for the Flames man advantage. The opportunity continues with 1:10. A bank pass behind Riley Smith intended for his defenseman is going to be offside. It was brought in from behind the blue line. 3 for 4 on the power play like we've seen already. 9 shot attempts. 3 of those 9 have gone in. That's impeccable work by the power play. And as well, making Phoenix pay for their lack of discipline in this first game of the series. A nice shake move by Yuri Toulouse. Wow, the frame rate in the playback for me went absolutely haywire. The puck goes haywire to the corner. Calvert back to the point, intended for Clefbaum. It'll be cleared. The Coyotes can relieve the pressure for now. The Flames with an entire full 5 regroup coming back to break this puck out. Riley Smith from one end of the rink to the other. It'll be offside if it was brought in here by Clefbaum. Calvert skates it in. Control entry and a dish off to the wing. A nice zone entry, I must say so myself, by the Flames. Faksa with possession. The Coyotes have regained possession and regained their man out of the box. It's Laurent Dauphin out, alleviated from his penalty that he took. Hanowski from the corner. The forward for the Flames. It's kicked along. Regathered by Hanowski. At center, headed up for Sagan. He's going 1-on-3. Not happening. Ekholm to the far side. Reverse back in behind the Coyotes net, brought ahead by Ekholm, but he has delivered a big blow by Boguniecki. He got into one on that, and then a wraparound opportunity turned aside by Burke after the fact. Boguniecki, the 6'6", 240-something pound man, bringing the boom. Absolutely leveled Matthias Ekholm. That is not easy to do, but I guess it is when you are the size of a giant. And I'm gonna call him a giant. He could be absolutely massive for the Flames on this playoff run. So we're in next goal wins territory. I mean, the next goal in this game, I don't care if it's in regulation or in overtime, we are officially at that point. If the puck goes in at this point of the game, it's over, basically. I do not see any chance in a dangerous opportunity as it was handled in front of the net by Ryan Kudrwinski. Foligno handles on the wing. In front for Toulouse, we run into Burke again. It's not the first time in this game that a goaltender has been ran into. Gary Toulouse trying to do the work in front. He just lost bearing of where he was on the ice surface as the ultimate game-winning goal. This one is forced wide off of Hanowski. He had a potential game-winning goal on his stick right there. Bodker through center. The Coyotes are in transition and dumping the puck back in. We haven't seen much of the Coyotes' attack in this third period of play. However, they do have the one goal, so it's not like they really have needed much time of possession in the attacking end. That opportunity was thwarted by the defense of the Coyotes. Sagan prevails with possession here. To Smith in front, a huge save by Burke at the dying seconds of regulation play. Are we going to see overtime? It is behind the net. Simon Luff, I think the Flames are going to happily play for OT. We will. Game 1 needs extra time. It has been the power play for the Calgary Flames that have forced this overtime period. The Coyotes had that pretty late goal in the third period of play, but the Flames get an even later goal. OT. We do need OT in game number 1 of round 1 against the Phoenix Coyotes. A familiar sight for these two teams because they have both been to overtime in the 2 series past that we played against each other. Remember, back in Season 9 on our run, we had probably the most tightly contested best-of-7 series we've ever seen against a single opponent. Oh, we have a prime opportunity. It squeaked right in front of Burke in the net. It was in the blue paint. But we had one of the most tightly contested series I've had in the entire GM mode. Came against the Coyotes. Are we back in store for another intense 6 or 7 games against Phoenix? I would anticipate so. And it's by no small miracle have the Calgary Flames been able to come back in this game, making the Coyotes, I want to say Calgary so bad, the Coyotes have paid for their undisciplinedness in this game. The lack of ability to stay out of the penalty box has backfired in this game for the Coyotes. It's prevented them from getting a possible regulation win. Foligno is offside. He will not shoot it on Burke, even as frustrating as it is to go offside. We have a big hit. We do. We have a big hit delivered to Laurent Dauphin. Next day air by Aaron Ekblad. So Boguniek, a great interception at center ice. And he cannot get the shot away. It is overtime, so there's no such thing really as a bad shot on goal. And I'll tell you right now, I'm really wishing that I had just done a live commentary for this game. I really wish I'd done a live comm for this game. Because it's so much extra work. That's the worst part for me about doing a post-commentary for a game like this, is that you do the initial gameplay, and even though there was a live comm that was supposed to go with this, it is extra work, because then you got to come back through and you have to commentate the game in post. And I don't even remember how the game went. I remember the team that won, but I don't even really remember how it went in or any of that stuff. So it will be a total surprise to me when the puck goes in the net eventually in overtime. Will it be the Coyotes or the Flames? Stay tuned to find out. Blum from his own zone, off the glass and out to center. Hanowski, well defended. Rundblad made that a very difficult play for Hanowski. A chance at a big body check was missed by Laxo. He now has the puck on the reverse to the weak side. Foligno drops it behind himself. That creates a lot of space on the ice. There's a one-timer waiting. It was Kujawinski. He missed the net. That was a perfect setup. That's why you drop the puck behind you. If you're going to drop the puck behind you on the zone entry, it's just to create a little bit of space that you can skate into. And talk about skating into space. Kujawinski may have created a 2-on-1, but I don't know what the route was that Caron was taking to the puck. And I remember that in the live commentary, that I was stunned that Caron took that route to the net. He would have been wide open on the back door for the pass from Kujawinski. It is an opportunity that went all for naught for the Calgary Flames. Lesio on the entry. Most dangerous player on this Coyotes roster, or at least one of them. That was a mistake gathered by Clefbaum, and it'll be an icing unless Sagan can negate it, but he will not be fast enough. Ekman Larsson, first man to that, will touch for the icing. This is the play that Kujawinski had. This is the one-timer Kujawinski had in the slot area. That was off the feed from Foligno, where Foligno dropped it back behind himself. We were just talking about that not that long ago. Sagan in his own zone wins it on the forehand. A weird face-off and an opportunity to get it out of the zone. Boguniecki makes the right play and sends it ahead for Sagan, but his shot was knocked down. Coyotes go back through center. Intercepted, coming through on the back check. Boguniecki leaves the puck for Clefbaum to get it out. Sagan on a little toe drag dangle. Gets inside positioning. Boguniecki may have missed the net on the one-timer. This is the second prime one-timing opportunity the Flames have had in this overtime period from the slot. Coyotes are going to have to clean up their defensive zone possessions, their defensive zone coverage, allowing too many prime opportunities for the Flames so far in the OT. Boguniecki puts one on, and not such a bad idea, I must say so myself. Intercepted by Ekblad. Had he not intercepted that, the play was going the other way. In fact, the play is going the other way now for Ekblad, but he couldn't get it to the net before Rundblad played him off the puck. Defended well. Boucher, off of that entry by Laxo, flings it toward the net. Mrazek will hold it against the pad. We'll get a face-off here. That was such a crucial intercept by Aaron Ekblad on that stretch pass by the Coyotes. We haven't seen Arizona stretch the ice much. And how about this? I mean, that's just shooting accuracy coming into play right there for Boguniecki. The lumbering giant on the ice surface for the Flames. Got to work on those shooting skills in the offseason. It won't really matter for me because there will not be a season 11. This is it. This is the last season, at least of the Flames GM mode. A head save by Burke off of that sharp shooting opportunity. The Coyotes dumping it back in. It's actually an effective dump in because look at this. Hartman is going to be the first man to it. Back to the point. Shot by Ekman Larsson that got knocked down by Laxo, but not out of the zone just yet. And because of the frame rate, I couldn't even tell what was happening on that. The frame rate on my end glitched out on that play as the pass was made out of the zone. Nice DDD work here with Blum. He gets it ahead to Foligno, who's doing some handles off the zone entry. It deflected, but wide of the net, and that could have been a dangerous deflection for the Coyotes and Burke. Here we go. We got our behind-the-net play set up here. Faxa working with Hanowski. It's played behind the blue line by Simon Luff, who has no choice but to send it back in. The goaltender, Burke, plays it behind his net, but there was some confusion on that play. It allows for a wraparound opportunity by the Flames. Calvert will play it again back into the zone from behind the blue line. It is actually going to go out of play off the glass. Is this the wraparound opportunity that Calvert just had? It is. Burke left it behind his own net, assuming that his own teammate would be the first man to get to that. Instead, it is Calvert. He shovels one on the backhand. Pad save by Burke. Keeping the score tied, of course, and at overtime, we had a center ice face-off that now Luff skates it right into four Coyotes players, plays it wide to himself, gets it back on the net. Boguniecki from behind the net, shovels one on, much in the same style, and Eller had the game on his stick, but he missed it wide. It went out of play. Or did Burke get a piece of this? No, Eller missed it. Full-on missed the net. You want to talk about your missed opportunities? That could be a haunting miss for Lars Eller should the Coyotes find a way to win this game in OT. Ristolainen from the red line just sends it back in. A smart play by the defenseman of the Flames. We got this really crazy forecheck going on here, even in overtime as it may be. Rundblad works with his defenseman. Pulley, there's a stretch pass that the Coyotes have seldom used in this game, and it goes offside this time. That's actually pretty costly because it is a D-zone face-off for the Coyotes. But they have possession and should get this puck out. They do. In fact, they have possession in the attacking zone before Lesio wrapped it behind the Flames net. Ristolainen all the way up the boards. It finds Riley Smith on the left wing. He's in the Coyotes zone now to the left of Burke, to the right of Burke rather. Sagan from the backhand. That was an awkward play. Riley Smith working from the face-off circle to the right of Burke. Left side of the zone. Overloaded on that left side. Luff sends it to the net. A glove save out of the air by Burke. Another D-zone face-off and some line changes to come up soon here. Crucial D-zone face-off. Eller to take it for the Flames. Opposed, I believe that's Hansel. For the Coyotes, Luff misses the net on the one-timer from the blue line. Back up top, Ekblad sends it to Luff. He'll shoot it again. Knocked down by Eller. Friendly fire on that play. Dumped in and elevated off the backhand by the Coyotes further into the zone. Luff is bothered by the forecheck. Hansel's backhand. Hartman's backhand is wide. A huge break for the Flames. Play goes the other way on the stretch to Boguniecki. Defended by Pulley. Boguniecki giving a big stick lift to try to maintain possession. Bodker came in to help his teammates out. The puck is not out of the zone yet. Boguniecki pokes it free of Pulley. It is in the corner. Sent along for Kujawenski. He comes out from behind the net. Luff. D to Ekblad. Slap shot. Misses the net. Hits the back of the net off of the kick plate from behind it. Pulley out of the zone to Hansel. Rink wide for Hartman. Defended off the poke check well by, I believe that is Jonathan Blum for the Flames. It's given to Kujawenski. He takes a slap shot. A big ripper that's well wide of the net. Foligno powers through. Sends it on net. Poked away from the goal crease by Kujawenski. The Coyotes have it out again. Harris into the zone, to the blue line, sent in. Got to get on that forecheck if you're Phoenix. Laxo prevails. Up to Calvert. Calvert brings it in on the right wing side. A stop-up move, finds space for Faxa, and he scores! Radek Faxa is going to send the Flames to a 1-0 series lead and a victory in overtime in Game 1. What a beautiful play by Calvert. It was Calvert off the zone entry. He stopped up. He found a wide open space, the soft spot in the defense. You're going to see it on the replay. The soft spot in the defense. Radek Faxa rips one home past the blocker's side. And of course, Burke is one of those weird goaltenders. He catches with his right hand, and it goes top shelf to end the game. Well, this was a wild one. This was certainly a wet and wild one. The power play coming through with 3 crucial goals for the Flames. And in overtime, it was at even strength. They didn't need the power play in overtime to get the game winner. All around, well-played game. Hotly contested between these two teams. I expect nothing less for what remains of this best of 7.